chocho mikeri na ngoma tanyeniwa akatorwa koyo neondo usamukangano chocho mikeri na ngoma.
Good evening and welcome to the news at 8. I am Tariro Manamike. We also have Pisweto Munyika at the Sign Language Desk.
And I am Yvonne Mkondani. It is a pleasure having you with us. This is the news at 8 and these are our leading stories for tonight.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa is in Equatorial Guinea for the African Union mid-year coordination meeting.
Gospel music fans converge at Belgravia Sports Club for the July Worship Music Festival.
And in sports, Simba Bora shoot to the top as Moors stumble in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League.
In our leading story for tonight, President Emmerson Mnangagwa has arrived in Equatorial Guinea ahead of the 7th African Union Mid-Year Coordination Meeting.
The president will join African leaders' discussions centered on the roadmap of the African Union for the coming year. We get the details in the upcoming report.
SADC chairperson President Emmerson Mnangagwa arrived at the Sanda Isabel International Airport this evening and was received by Equatorial Guinea Prime Minister Manuel Ossa Nsu, Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Professor Emon Murira, Zimbabwe Ambassador to Equatorial Guinea Vista Jerry Mtume, embassy officials. President Mnangagwa will be among African leaders attending the 7th African Union Mid-Year Coordination Meeting, which will be held this Sunday. The 7th African Union Mid-Year Coordination Meeting brings together the AU Assembly Bureau, which comprises heads of state and government, chairpersons of the 8 regional economic communities, senior officials of the African Union Commission and the Continental Body's specialized organs and other institutional partners. The summit will be convened under the theme African Union, the theme of the year 2025, Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through reparations. The mid-year coordination meeting, as per the protocol, is expected to assess, among other critical issues, the status of continental integration, coordinate efforts to accelerate the integration process, identify areas of cooperation, and establish mechanisms for regional, continental, and global cooperation. Bruce Chawanda, ZBC News, Malabo.
The National Drug and Substance Abuse Resource Mobilization Campaign, launched in Harare this Friday, has been applauded as a strategic step to combat the social vice that is tearing through the country's social fabric.
Stakeholders, faith-based organizations, traditional leadership structures, and government, working hand in hand, should ensure high-impact results from the numerous anti-drug and substance abuse awareness campaigns being conducted countrywide.
A strong position stating commitment to fighting drug and substance abuse, President Emmerson Mnangagwa says the fight against drug and substance abuse requires collaborative action.
This is not a feel-good exercise. It is a fight for the soul and the future of our nation, as embodied in our young people. The information, education, and communication platforms established to date must carry anti-drug messaging, which is relatable to those affected.
The commitment by the head of state has been applauded by various stakeholders.
We believe that the donations are going to go a long way in mitigating the challenges that young men and women in Zimbabwe are facing as far as the use of drug and substance use is concerned.
We are really happy that he is a listening president and he has heeded to our pleas. We really appreciate him for that. And we also want to appreciate all those who have really believed that as a nation, if we stand united, we will fight against this menace and we will be able to save our future generation.
Trukuti Baba, thank you so much. Nekupindira nyaya dzema drugs muno muZimbabwe dzanyanyisa. Asi Baba vamira nesu.
For recovering users, the civil society group said the president's approach reflects a Vision 2030 aligned model rooted in collaboration, compassion, and data-driven solutions. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has commissioned the Roman Catholic Gweru Diocese Pastoral Center at an event where 6 reverend deacons were ordained to become Catholic priests.
The Diocese Pastoral Center, commissioned this Saturday, is a multi-purpose conference center which will host various church activities. Commissioning the center, Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, a devoted Catholic, says the establishment of the center is a result of sound leadership rooted in the Gweru Diocese.
This transformative project is a reflection of the dreams and dedication of its chief architect, His Lordship, the Right Reverend Bishop Sekuru Rudolph Nyandoro. His vision, passionately shared during his Silver Jubilee celebrations here in Gweru last year, has now begun to take shape, and we are all witnesses to that promise fulfilled. Tinoti makorokoto kwamuri Sekuru Nyandoro.
The event witnessed the ordination of 6 priests, which was presided over by head of Gweru Diocese, Bishop Rudolph Nyandoro. The 6 priests ordained include Reverend Kudzaima Bena of Kwekwe, Reverend Deacon Gerald Dube of Mberengwa, Reverend Brian Kanyai of Gweru, Reverend Reynold Machirori of Kwekwe, Reverend Deacon Carlos Masia of Kwekwe, as well as Reverend Deacon Marvin Mbenene.
You have embraced the calling that demands sacrifice, faith, and unwavering devotion. It is not an easy path, but it is one of eternal purpose and profound impact.
A senior cleric, Bishop Raymond Mpandasekwa, implored the newly ordained priests to lead their congregations with dignity in line with the dictates of the Roman Catholic Church belief systems.
Marindo goridi ndo zvakakosha zvinongodiwa kuonekwa mumupriest. Kana zvikasaonekwa mumupriest, vanhu vanouya kwaari vanofambira pasina.
The ordained priests will now lead various congregations as assigned by the head of Gweru Diocese after undergoing years of theological studies. Tafarach Kumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
The government has moved to Mount Jersey barriers to curb reckless behavior by commuter omnibus crews who are violating regulations at the Trabublis traffic interchange. This follows an expose by ZBC News on the unruly behavior by the commuter omnibus crews that was posing a threat on the lives of other motorists.
3 days ago, the ZBC News crew exposed the reckless driving by commuter omnibus crews operating with reckless impunity at the Trabublis interchange, undermining the rule of law and threatening the gains of government's infrastructure development efforts. In response, the government has swiftly moved in. This Saturday, ZBC News witnessed the contractor on site installing jersey barriers to enforce order and safeguard the newly commissioned road infrastructure. Transport operators and motorists welcomed the move, citing improved safety and discipline at the interchange.
Ma-accidents angachitika apa nekuda kwavanhu vanokata vachitena apa sekuti kutotenda kuti mukaisa kusvika kunosvika kutenofe kukresta uko munhu otenera uko zvinobvisa congestion yange yakuitika panapa.
Vemakombi vanga vakucrossa nepamusoro apa vachitokanganisa vanhu futi kufamba.
As a government step yavatora It's a very good step yokuti tingova ne one side yokuti tinoenda kutown ndofamba dzakadai dzinenge chibuda mutown ndofamba ne one side.
Inofana kunge pane punishment inofana kuiswa yokuti kana munhu apwanya infrastructure.
While responding to questions raised in the question and answer session recently, the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Honorable Felix Mona, warned that those found flouting road regulations will face the full wrath of the law. With the integrity of public infrastructure, reinforcing the Second Republic's stance on zero tolerance to lawlessness. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The artisanal and small-scale mining sector is embracing the digital mining cadastry system, a requirement outlined in the recently gazetted Mines and Minerals Amendment Bill, targeting greater transparency and efficiency for the sector. This follows a memorandum of understanding signed between the Zimbabwe Miners Federation and the Association of Mine Surveyors of Zimbabwe in Harare this Thursday.
A deal of mutual agreement expected to catapult artisanal and small-scale mining into a fully computerized platform for managing mining rights and operations under the sector, guided by the principles of the Mining Cadastral Information Management System, MCIMS. The working arrangement agreed between the Zimbabwe Miners Federation and the Association of Mine Surveyors of Zimbabwe, agreed recently in Harare, targets to unlock benefits for the sector.
Our partnership with Zimbabwe Miners Federation is a landmark agreement, and it supports the following. Firstly, access for the artisanal small-scale, medium-scale miners to credible mine surveying services, which they critically need for compliance, for formalization processes, and for meeting investor requirements, such as banks and other public or private sector investors or partners. Secondly, it also supports the growth of this sector and the overall mining industry as a whole.
This is a huge milestone for the small-scale mining industry as it readies for the full rollout of the digital mining cadastral system.
There's been a number of disputes that have been going on and then taking time. Some disputes spilling over to 2 years. But when you talk about the introduction of this cadastral system, it's spot on to the actual site that was supposed to be allocated. Elsewhere in the region, some other countries started this system long back, Ghana, Zambia. So Zimbabwe has also started it. We started implementing it 2 years ago, and it's now going on full swing, so that even anyone who does registration, the moment you submit papers for registration at the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development, that is the area that will belong to you.
Effective 1st of July 2025, all existing mining title holders, new applicants and pending applications will be required to submit updated coordinates that meet the geospatial data standards. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Harare.
The government has emphasized the critical role of the private sector to national development through enhanced participation in key projects.
With different entities from all the 7 districts scouting for potential investor partnerships, the conference is a showcase of opportunities in the province. Representatives from local authorities say the event is an important marketing platform to the outside world.
Potential investors angafika athuthukise indawo yakithi ngoba ilupani iseselenza lezidingo eziningi ezifunakalayo kakhulu nxa sikhangele itheme le ikhuluma nge-infrastructure development ukuthuthukisa izakhiwo elupani njengama hotels zisafunakala.
Basilapha thina sikhangele ukuthi singabuya sikubeke sobala ukuthi thina sifuna lokhu lalokho. Sesikhangelela ukuthi ngubani olemali yakhe esingasebenza laye ukwenzela ukuthi nxa esolve ama problems lawo thina kithi kuyasithuthukisa kuye la kuyamthuthukisa ngoba wenza imali.
Unikeza abantu umhlaba wonke amathuba esilawo abantu ukuthi babekwazi ukuthi kuyini abangafaka khona investment yabo kiwo amathuba afana le housing infrastructure amathuba afana le tourism mining konke lokho sifisa ukuthi usapho lweZimbabwe amaZimbabweans abekwazi noma besemazweni ukuthi kulezinto ezinje abangaqanyisa ukuthi baba invest kizo.
The province is banking on its vast resources to create more investments that will increase its GDP.
Kuqakatheke kakhulu investment opportunities esilazo eMat North
and njengoba ubona indlu igcwele ama-investors who want to come and invest in Matabele North, ku-mining sector, ku-tourism, ku-infrastructure, kuma-contracts. Banengi abantu ababuyile ama-investors want to come and invest in Matabele North.
Almost 300 potential investors have turned out for the 3-day Indaba, where organizers were expecting at least 180. Mhlomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Umkuza.
Government continues to develop mechanisms for youth to participate in decision-making both at local and national levels. Acting Director of Communication and Advocacy Ranson Madzaba speaks ahead of the inaugural Youth Empowerment Symposium to be held later this month.
The issue is about finding better ways on how we are going to take care of those youths who are not into employment, education and training. We would want to make sure that they are productive. We would want to make sure that they would actually add value to the fiscus of our economy and at the same time improving their livelihoods. So there are going to be some exhibitions on 31 July where we are expecting more than 200 institutions, youth-related institutions who are actually going to showcase whatever that they are doing in terms of youth empowerment.
Do remember to visit our website www.zbc.co.zw for these and more stories. You can also follow us on our socials on Facebook and X, on YouTube at ZBC News Online.
Our story is still to come in this bulletin. Gospel music fans converge at Belgravia Sports Club for the July Worship Music Festival. And later on in sport, Simba Bora shoot to the top of the Kasulaga Premier Soccer League as Moors stumble. We're off to a break. To join us as we come back with those and other stories.
Win big in the EcoCash Chakataya Ziawaku EcoCash promotion with over 200,000 winners. Earn at least 20 points when you cash in. Send money, buy airtime or data, make payments, receive money from the diaspora, or receive your salary via EcoCash. And you could be in the running to win an all-expenses-paid trip to watch an AFCON match in Morocco, a holiday for two in Dubai, solar kits, cows, fridges, gas stoves, motorbikes, cash, airtime, and so much more. It's simple. Simply transact, earn points, and win in the Chakataya Ziawaku EcoCash promotion. Dial *151# or use the EcoCash app now. EcoCash. Live life the EcoCash way.
Life can sometimes seem like it's on pause, each day blending into the next. You're left wondering when the excitement will return, when the adventure will begin. That first sip awakens the wild rivers within, where every moment is an opportunity to explore, discover, to live. Welcome to the world of Zambezi Lager, where the mighty Zambezi flows and greatness abounds. For the Zambezians, it's all about good friends, great moments, and the taste of adventure. Step into the captivating world of Zambezi Lager, where every taste is a journey and every moment shared is filled with the heartfelt pride of Zimbabwe. Zambezi Lager, for those who seek adventure, who cherish the journey, and who know that life's greatest moments are shared.
Unogona kukushaya simbare kuziva pauchastika. Asini sure thing internet connection
ndiwe une plan pamashandiro ako.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. As Zimbabwe accelerates its transition into the National Development Strategy 2, the capacitation of Parliament's portfolio committees on public finance management, budget processes and analysis has emerged as a critical pillar in ensuring robust and accountable governance that supports the country's economic transformation agenda.
The 3-day workshop currently underway in Bulawayo brings together members of various portfolio committees for intensive training aimed at enhancing legislative oversight on government spending, policy execution and developmental alignment. The workshop comes as the country gears up for the next 5-year plan, NDS2, which is set to run from January 2026 to December 2030. Speaker of the National Assembly, Advocate Jacob Mutenda, underscored the indispensable role of the committees in shaping the country's ambitious developmental path.
The point of departure of the NDS2, which will soon be published by government, NDS1, so that we complete our target of Vision 2030 of creating an upper middle income economy. So there is no contradiction at all. On the contrary, is complementary. And it is important, therefore, that the budget that will be crafted before the end of the year, hopefully after the crafting of the NDS2, will articulate the national objectives as shall be defined in the NDS2. And it is therefore important that our members of parliament are well versed in terms of the praxis of budget analysis.
Advocate Mutenda further emphasized that the transition to NDS2 demands a high level of legislative engagement. Thus, without a well-informed and empowered parliament, the risk of misallocated funds and unachieved targets would be high. The initiative is also seen as a major boost for participatory democracy, as members of parliament will be better equipped to consult constituency and bring grassroots development needs into national policy discussions.
Stories of women, both famous and unknown, continue to inspire women who choose different paths in life, and this stands as a stark reminder of unwavering patriotism.
Asini kuti ndisimuke kuti nditarise handina kusimuka. Handina kusimuka. Pavakataura vananga ndakazonzwa mumadziro vakushedzwa vangu vakakomba imba yese handizivi kuti kwaive kana kuti kwaive nemamotikari mbiri dzakanga dzakaburiswa hawaiti vanhu futi handisi kuziva kuti masoja kana uchii vakanga varimo vechitema vave vakawanda ndobva zvanzi izvo 43 Rusike Street, hands up and march out.
House number 43 Rusike Street in Harare's Mbare suburb is one that will forever go down in history as a place that helped force the Ian Smith regime to the negotiating table. War veteran Mbuya Aida Wiza of Mbare played a pivotal role in the liberation of the country by providing accommodation to freedom fighters that bombed fuel tanks that sustained the Rhodesian army in 1978. She is one of the many women who sacrificed their lives serving as combatants, political activists and support personnel.
Anjadzi yangu inonzi Kingston kunaka. Ndiye akashamwaridzana nemakomrade kumusha. Ndokubva vati tiri kuda kuenda kutauni, ndikati kuda kuenda. Zvino hanzvadzi yangu iyi ndobva yaenda ndobva yanosheedza mumwe aive nemotikari anonzi Simon Kidzwanda. Simon Kidzwanda ndiye wakaita ndiye wakauya nevakomana ava vari vatatu vaiti member Poison naMbumba vari 3 ndivo vakatanga kuuya. Nahanzvadzi yangu nadhiraivha vai vari 5. Zvino vanonzi vaienda so vosvika kunhingirikiri uku kushero vaita sevanhu vari kugadzira motikari unga vanhu vafirwa nemotikari so vachitarisa pasi vachitsvaga kuti tingaruve nepapi. Handichaziva kuti nguva dzange dzakuma asi 8 dzange dzapfuura ndopakabva parira chii pakabva papfurwa nenge manje peturu papfurwa peturu ini ndakabva ndatya kuti mwana ari igrinedera nenge rika manje ndakabuda muno ndikambaira kuti ndende batasangana takafara isengofambawo mukati mevanhu havaizivawo kuti isisi takaona kuti ndobva zvanzi izvoni handei kutiza kuti tiende kwaseke ndaingobudawo pamwe chete nevamwe takazoshedzerwa nababa vaivapo baba vange vakura chaizvandivakura mahandiri ndo vakati garai mumba.
Time for us to get more news from our Montreal studios in Bulawayo, where Marilyn is on standby.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Yvonne and Tariro. In our following report, micro, small and medium enterprises are leveraging on the Winter Expo to advance their products and services to a wider market. The fair ended in Bulawayo this Saturday. Let's get the details.
The Winter Expo, which opened in Bulawayo last week, ended on a high note this Saturday, offering small-scale entrepreneurs a pedestal to network and create effective strategies for future growth.
Izinto zama-expo lezi ziyancedisa kakhulu ukuthi sihlangane labanye abantu. Lapha siyabe sihlangana nama-customer amatsha, sihlangana nabanye abantu bebusiness. Sisenza lana kuthiwa i-collaboration and commercializing.
I-expo le iyasincedisa every year. Sometimes siyathola ama-customer kodwa into enkulu ikuhlangana labantu abakhulu abafuna ukuthi basebenze lathi. Lokho siyakuthola lapha ku-expo. We exchange ama-businesses ethu sonkeni khonapha.
Sisiza thina ukuthi sikhule siyafunda okunye siyabe singalalwazi ngakho.
Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Dr. Mevi Sibanda, highlighted the positive impact of the MSME's Winter Expo.
If you walk around, there are so many youths who are on the stands, who are exhibiting, and they are actually participating. They are manufacturing, using the available raw materials. So we are taking those youths out of the street. They are actually productive. They are doing something. They are happy. They are feeling good about themselves. Once they feel good about themselves, definitely they will not go to the drugs.
The Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises MSME's Winter Expo has been described as a huge success, providing a valuable platform for small businesses to grow.
Communities in Chivi Central are positioning for improved livelihoods and better incomes after becoming the latest beneficiaries of the presidential poultry program unveiled in their area this Friday.
Presidential Poultry Program in Empowerment 2 to supporting rural livelihoods has been critical in unlocking opportunities and boosting incomes for many over the last 5 years. Communities in Chivi Central, the latest beneficiaries of the program, are looking ahead with optimism. The program will boost their income while supporting thousands of women to self-sufficiency.
50 kuti tichange kuita project yekufuwa huku izvi zvinova zvinosimudzira raramo yedu pahuku apa ndichawana kupinza vana vangu chikoro ndichawana kuraramisa mumba mangu chikafu ndiri kufara nehuku dzatapiwa nababa vaMunangagwa chova takanga tichishuva kwenguva refu tichiti huku dzichave notatova nadzo.
Beneficiaries are receiving training on poultry farming to ensure the program's sustainability.
Tirikuti madhumeni edu ari kumawadzi achateverera varimi vatapa huku vachivaunganidza samagrupu vachivatraina. Matraining awa ndeyekuti vanochengeta huku dzavo sei uye mamwe matraining awa ndeyekuti vachaita bhizinesi sei kana vanga vane huku idzodzo.
Chivi Central Legislator Honorable Xavier Maoneke, who is leading the program in the area, said the ZANU-PF-led government has transformed rural livelihoods through intensified agriculture initiatives.
Chirongwa chakatangwa na President Dr. Idi Mnangagwa chokuda kuzama kusumudzira upenyu hwavagari vemuZimbabwe vari mumaruwa nevari mumadhorobha. Chirongwa chatikuita nhasi pano ndechekupa vanhu huku sezvamangoona vagari vemuno medu machi vose tavapa huku dzatapiwa naPresident. Huku idzi dzinosumudzira kugara kwavo sezvamunongoziva kuti huku dzamazai dzinobatsiravo kuti vakawandowana mazai vanotengesa vachiwana mari dzokuendesa vana kuchikoro, vanodlawo mazai health yavo yovawo zviri nani.
Government has also supported the community with poles to support nutritional garden projects, livestock farming, as well as irrigation schemes. Ms. Matina, ZBC News, Chivi.
Government's Agriculture Extension Officers Capacitation Program has been taken to Chiredzi district as part of initiatives meant to significantly improve service delivery.
Agriculture extension officers are indispensable in building resilient farming systems and improving food security, with their success hinging on a participatory, adaptive and well-resourced approach that empowers farmers to tackle challenges of dryland agriculture. It is against this background that government rolled out a capacitation program that has seen close to 100 agriculture extension officers in Chiredzi district receiving solar kits.
Asi nokuda kwemasola yatakukwanisa kuwana kuchasisa mafoni edu matablet atakapiwa tichisenda mareports in time.
Isusu semadmin tiri kufara kuti takapasitwa tapiwa masola kits zvakutotiitirawo zvakanaka because kwatinogara kumagetse anotonetsa ende uyezve takapiwa kuti mamotorbikes takukwanisa kuti tifambewo madistance makuru tikave madistance atanga tisingambokwanisi kukamba.
The capacitation program comes after several other programs which saw the agri-tax officers receiving ICT gadgets as well as motorbikes in a movement to ensure they are always accessible to farmers, particularly in the grassroots communities.
The ministry has seen it fit to capacitate our extension officers, our foot soldiers, whom we call business advisors, who are the transformers of our rural communities. So we have seen it fit to give them enablers.
Meanwhile, the capacitation program has since managed to address challenges that agriculture extension officers were facing, which include limited resources and lack of effective communication channels. Geima Tambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
The Second Republic is intensifying the food distribution program to cushion families and the less privileged, with families in Zhishavane being the latest to benefit from the program.
With the Second Republic prioritizing social safety nets, vulnerable families, which include the orphans, the elderly and the less privileged in Zhishavane, were cushioned with food hampers courtesy of the government's food aid program. Beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the initiative.
Chakanaka zvikuru chavatiitira vatibatsira sesu vanorarama neurema zvinotinetsa zvikuru kuti tiwane zvimwe zvikafu zvakaita saizvozvo.
Ini nhasi ndinowa kusununguka ine ndaro neyani kuti kana wanga akaperegwa seni ndadomuka ndadorarama.
Minisa vazviona izvozvo kuti ngaindibatsire vachemberawo vachakwanisa kuita mibato yamaoko.
Na minister nhasi munoncha chakanaka zvikuru tafara zvakanyanyisa zvetinotenda.
The government has reiterated its commitment to support vulnerable families so as to enhance food and nutritional security.
Tatenderera province yose yeMidlands tikuitekerera tichisangana nana mbuya nevakarema tose tinoziva kuti maine nyika vanochengetawo vanhu vakarema, vanochengetawo harahwa kwese kwavanoenda. Saka isu tiri kutedzera zvizvo kuno kuMidlands.
Government continues to play an active role to ensure vulnerable families are safeguarded from the impact of food insecurity.
News at 8 continues from Pocket Hill Studios in Harare, where Yvonne is on standby. Yvonne, it's back to you.
Many thanks to you, Marilyn. And moving on with the bulletin right here from Montrose, the Judiciary Service Commission is currently engaging its stakeholders in Masvingo province as it continues to implement the fourth phase of the integrated electronic case management system within its magistrates' courts.
Following the successful rollout of the fourth phase of the integrated electronic case management system targeting magistrate courts in Mashonaland Central and Matabeleland North provinces, the program is now targeting Masvingo and Matabeleland South. This Friday saw the Judicial Service Commission engaging its stakeholders in Masvingo ahead of the rollout in October that will see digitalization of magistrate courts.
System is quite efficient in that it assists our litigants. They don't have to travel to court anymore to file their cases in court, and that they can do their case tracking even online.
It will enable litigants to approach courts from various places of the nation. Even when you are far from a place, you can still lodge your case with a court and still get results out of the litigation process.
System iyi yakanaka zvikuru, inobvisa uori hwakawanda mu legal system. Asi chimwe chikuru chatinoona ndechekuti sekutaura nokudzidziswa kwatiri kuitwa vari kuti panoda dzidziso yakakwana.
Judicial Service Commission Secretary Mr. Walter Chikwana said the goal is to ensure improved efficiency in all the courts.
The first thing that we have to do in our preparations is to engage and interact with our members of staff, number one, our stakeholders, key stakeholders, then the community. So it's very important that we meet and interact with the public and explain to them what ECMS is about and the advantages that they will get and gain from ECMS.
The integrated electronic case management system is a web-based case management system that automates and tracks all aspects of a case life cycle from initial filing through disposition and appeal. The first phase of the integrated by the Constitutional Court, Supreme Court, and the Commercial Court Division of the High Court. The second phase focused on the Labour Court and the Administrative Court, while the third phase completed the automation of the country's superior courts. Now the fourth phase is focusing on connecting the magistrate courts. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
Over 200 people, including the elderly in Epworth, received free medical attention under the presidential medical outreach conducted in the area this Saturday.
The Epworth Ward 6 free medical outreach program offered a range of services including routine immunizations, management of non-communicable diseases, treatment of minor ailments and psychosocial support. Beneficiaries of the outreach lauded the president for the initiative to provide free medical assistance to the community.
Kuti president wedu wakati hakuna anosara mumashure munhu wese aripo pakubatsirwa.
The Minister of Health and Childcare, Dr. Douglas Mombeshora, stressed that a need assessment conducted in the area informed the decision to undertake the outreach.
We do screen for common things like STIs, syphilis, for example. We also test for things like diabetes, hypertension, and those who have been discovered to have those challenges will then be treated here.
Service provider Discovery Ambulance Services Chief Executive Officer Mr. David Munowengu said the objective was to ensure early detection of ailments and treatment before complications set in.
We got great response from the public. People are sick at home. Some of them don't have money to go to the hospital. Some of them have been referred to major cases. But Discovery and Ministry of Health have come to cover that gap for such things, to say we are there to bridge in that gap. If you are sick and you don't have money to do a certain operation, we are coming in as a presidential emergency medical scheme.
The government, through the Minister of Health and Childcare, remains committed in the provision and promotion of health services with a focus on improving the health and wellness of population and ensuring universal access to quality health care. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Harare.
A youth empowerment initiative has benefited more than 200 youths who graduated with certificates in various disciplines at the Pedzisai Sakupanya Skills Development Trust in Mavuku this Friday.
In line with the Second Republic's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind and responding to the government's call for grassroots empowerment, ZANU-PF Mavuku Tafara legislator Comrade Pedzai Sakupanya spearheaded a skills development initiative aimed at steering youths away from drugs and unemployment. This Friday, more than 200 youths graduated from the ZANU-PF-driven initiative in life-changing disciplines.
I now have somewhere to start from. I now have the skills that I can use to start. It may be a business or to do something for myself. I don't have to roam around in the streets.
The initiative reflects the government's broader vision of achieving an empowered upper middle income society by 2030, with the youth as the engine of national development.
This is in sync in the vision 2030. Yakatawa president by then take the middle income economy. Our vana vakure watatoa visa off the streets. Kure kuti vana vavakugona kurarama ivo vachita kuti nyika ino igone kuita achieve the goal yekuva an empowered nation by 2030.
Pedzai Sakupanya Skills Development Trust Director Apostle Tendai Medan noted the initiative targets to provide critical knowledge skills among youths.
Kana vatrainwa ma skills aya munhu anenge ane mubato wake wemaoko uye zvakare anenge ane chekuita. Saka izvi mukati menyika yedu zvakare yeZimbabwe zvinge zvakura kuti tinenge tane more ma skilled people vari ku grassroots level.
The graduates were trained in various trades including motor mechanics, solar installation, carpentry, plumbing and nurse aid. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
A preliminary report on the Air India crash last month depicted confusion in the cockpit shortly before an Air India jetliner crashed and killed 260 people after the plane's engine fuel cut-off switches flipped almost simultaneously and stuffed the engines of fuel. Indian accident investigators say the Boeing 787 Dreamliner bound for London from the Indian city of Ahmedabad began to lose thrust, and Bureau about the June 12 crash raises fresh questions over the position of the critical engine fuel cut-off switches. The report indicates that in the flight's final moments, one pilot was heard on the cockpit voice recorder asking the other why he cut off the fuel. The other pilot responded that he did not do so. The preliminary report did not say how the switches could have flipped to the cut-off position during the flight. And with that story, we take a break. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Convention on Wetlands. Second time in Africa, first time in Zimbabwe. Siyalamukela. Convention on Wetlands. Siyalamukela. 50th Cup Convention on Wetlands. Zimbabwe. Cinema to Mapani. Yes, cinema to Victoria Post, Manapus, Monapel, Cleveland, empty potential games. Tuomamwe matoro, amakapozini bilo, awudenye makapozini, awachiliwe makapozini. Wetlands are life, protecting wetlands for our common good, common use, common future. Yes, the Victoria Post are credited as a wetland city. Convention on Wetlands.
Bhekani izindaba matoko tumutoko izilane zihlaza umhlaba ofundileyo wangethu inyanga sethule sethukeli siyanamukele ekhaya
Ifana tuyilodeli Ajonja nukudu Sokomele sitama Sokomele lihezi
Twamutambula kumusongano w'amasenza wa Ramza watwabiri mu Africa kuba rutanzi mu Zimbabwe emasenza mbumbi umasenza tamu ya wipe umasenza tamu liwipe katwakwabirire kutitira injuenza iya chisitonze
Convention on Wetlands. The Convention on Wetlands, COP15, from the 23rd to the 31st of July at the Elephant Hills Hotel in the Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. For more information, contact ramza.org or wetlandscop15.gov.zw.
Crowd goes absolutely emphatic. He has done it.
Get ready for more on Supersport, the only place to watch all the FIFA Club World Cup.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Gospel music lovers have braved the chilly weather in Harare as they converge at Belgravia Sports Club for the annual July Worship Festival currently underway. We'll link up with our reporter Patience Nyagato, who is at Belgravia Sports Club, for the details.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Zimbabwe. Harare is ablaze with the July Worship Music Festival currently underway. Here is the Belgravia Sports Club. Revered gospel artists are giving gospel lovers value for money and a memorable worship experience. Worship is in full swing as artists take turns to perform at the open venue. Joining me is a beautiful lady who is about to tell us her experience here at the festival. Tell us your experience here at the July Worship Music Festival.
My experience here is very amazing. I've seen so many artists here. Some of them I don't even know them. For example, Elena, I didn't know her. Or even that one, Clary, I didn't know her, but she's very good. I really love the experience here. So this is actually my third time here, and this is a blast. I want to tell you, this is a blast. It's very amazing. The sound system is very nice. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so excited, and this is not actually my first time. Among some of the artists that have taken the stage so far include the Elad and Sharon Cherai, Eliana Makombe, and the host, Minister Michael Mahendere. That's what we have from here. It's back to you, studio.
Many thanks, Patience. It looks like people are having a lot of fun there. Now we take a short break. We will be back with sport. To stay with us.
Crowd goes absolutely emphatic. He has done it.
Get ready for more on Supersport, the only place to watch all the FIFA Club World Cup.
Thank you for staying with us. Defending champions Simba Bora have made a huge statement of intent after a sterling show against the Rentals this Saturday to occupy pole position in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League.
Oh,
What a cheeky penalty.
7 for 7.
7 for 7.
Simba Bora posted a dramatic comeback to claim a 3-2 victory over Rentals in a 5-goal thriller at Rufaro Stadium. The sweet 3 points catapulted the Buju Boys to the summit of the log as Moors were handed a second 1-0 defeat by Yada at the Hart Stadium. Although jointly tied on 40 points with Moors, Simba Bora enjoy a superior goal difference of 14 goals, having scored 26 times and conceded 12 times. At Baobab, it was sweet revenge for Scotland as they posted a dramatic 2-1 comeback to beat Ngezi Platinum Stars in their own backyard. Now on 31 points, Maviravira jumped to 4th position while awaiting a determination of their abandoned chicken-in game. A change of venue further compounded Dynamo's woes as the Glamour Boys fell 1-0 to Tail-1 at Ascot Stadium. FC Platinum beat Chicken-in 1-0 at Mandava, while ZPC Kariba played to a 0-0 stalemate with Manica Diamonds. Bikita Minerals condemned struggling Kwekwe United further in the murky waters of relegation after posting a 1-0 victory at Gibbo Stadium. Action continues this Sunday with Highlanders hosting Greenfield at Babafield Stadium, while Capes United entertain Triangle at Rufaro Stadium. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The Zimbabwe men's volleyball team made it a memorable day by defending their title after a convincing 3-0 win over South Africa at the African Union Sports Council Region 5 Youth Games in Windhoek, Namibia this Saturday.
By the energy of the Latvia, Ambassador Melody Shangurura, African Union Sports Council Region 5 CEO Stanley Toya, Sports and Recreation Commission Board Chairperson Nathaniel Madzivanyiga, and Deputy Director of Sport and Recreation Ignatius Lambe. With a big delegation in attendance, the boys did not disappoint.
I'm proud of the team. They really delivered. Most of the guys, it was their first time to play on this on an international
3-1 win over Malawi.
I'm happy that we have won the bronze. It was not an easy road for us, but I believed in my girls. They fought to the end.
In other sports, Juleka Balakazi emerged victorious in the boxing finals, defeating her Namibian opponent in the women's lightweight 60 kg category to secure a gold medal for Zimbabwe. The tennis team clinched the bronze medal after a convincing 4-0 win over Angola in the team event. The Zimbabwe contingent had an impressive showing at the games, bagging a total of 24 gold medals and 36 bronze medals. The curtains will come down on Team Zimbabwe's participation in the African Union Sports Council Region 5 Youth Games, where the closing ceremony is set for this Sunday. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Windhoek.
The Zimbabwe rugby team, the Sables, are not leaving anything to chance as they brace for battle against old rivals Kenya in a Rugby Africa Cup semi-final set.
In the pasta, the two sides are clashed this Sunday at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Nambule, with the winner set to progress to the final of the Rugby Africa Cup.
We know what we are up against, big boys, athletic boys, but if you look at both sides, we've got also quite athletic bodies, meaty, and the collisions are definitely going to be hard and tough, but we're really keen for it.
Now, having come up against them over the last couple of years, we know that they've got amazing athletes and threats all over the field. But for us, we've been working to stand us in good stead.
The Sables are not leaving anything to chance.
Possession and making sure that we front up on the physical battles as well.
The winner of the encounter progressed to the final of the Rugby Africa Cup, where the overall tournament winner will qualify for the 2026 Rugby World Cup.
Zimbabwean sprinter Makanaka Ishe Charamba made an impressive Diamond League debut following a third-place finish in the men's 200-meter race in Monaco this Friday. Charamba came in third in a star-studded field which featured Olympic champions, closely followed by Teboho in second place and Charamba in third position. The Diamond League is an annual series of elite track and field competitions comprising 15 meetings.
Now, long-distance runner Tatenda Hall 5 seconds in a closely contested event held in the border town this Saturday.
The sports event that drew athletes from across the country saw the Black Rhinos athlete Tatenda Hove striking gold. Hove finished the half marathon after just 1 hour, 2 minutes and 55 seconds ahead of Blanket Mines Mtokozi Mtlanga, who came 5 seconds later, and Jonathan Chinyoka of ZPCS, who came.
Mainly next week, we're going to go international race to FB Zambia. So this one is part of preparation international event and the week. For the past 2 races, besides I was in my PB in the Manya 103, Vic Force in the Manya 104. kumahadi ndakamhanya 105 so ndiri kuona kuti pane progress in time changing zviri nani.
For other
That story wraps up tonight's bulletin. Thank you so much for having joined us, Tari.
Indeed. So we now leave you watching the women AFCON pitting Morocco and Senegal. Join us again tomorrow night. Good night.
Good night.
Oh no, de Dieu. Supporters to get behind these two nations who are just going to be getting locked into a battle over the course of 90 minutes to try and get points. Senegal, well, a draw or win would probably suffice for them to move through to the quarterfinals. But for this Moroccan team, well, they got 4 points. They are at the top of the table. They want to go through as the top team because it will depend on where they position themselves, who they'll play against in the quarterfinals. As we take a look at this Moroccan team, of course, and Jorge Bilda, the man in charge, has kept Amishi, the goalkeeper, Redwani, Rabah, Benzina and El Hajj as the back four. Badri, Shabak and Mrabet in the midfield with Draidi, Tagnout and Sakina Azraoui on the right-hand side. Solid team, as expected. Draidi and, of course, Shabak scoring 4 goals and looking so dangerous. The likes of Masoudi on the bench and Nakash obviously give them extra impetus the moment that they need to bring them on, Amanda.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've seen how the Moroccans have really been chasing the game so far in the opening games, but of course the bench always uses their impact and really drive the team forward.
Yeah, and they'll be playing and using all of the players they possibly can as they try and find out a way of getting goals against this stubborn and difficult Senegal team. Fast improving, of course, as we saw. They're playing in their 3rd appearance, but they managed to get through to the quarterfinals, losing out to Zambia and penalties in the quarterfinals in the last outing. The referees today, Shamira Nabada of Uganda, with Fides Bangorambona of Burundi and Sakina Hamidou Alpha of Nigeria. And the two captains, of course, there's Mama Diop, already boasting 2 goals to her name. She's such a colossal forward, isn't she? Over 6 foot tall, towering above Ghislaine Shabak, of course. Quality players there as we take a look at the VAR officials. Mario Rivet of Mauritania and Salima Mukansanga of Rwanda. Yeah, we talk about those two forwards. Well, Mama Diop leading at the front and alongside her partner in crime, Nguena Ndai. They scored 6 goals between them in the opening 2 games, just to give you the lay of the land. But starting from the back, the wonderful Adji Ndai goalkeeper, Sane Ndai, Fal, a 17-year-old, and Babu. And then in the midfield, we don't have Mata. We've got Sek, Dram and Diallo, all players of Aigle de la Medina, the top team and the champions in Senegal. Maladou Diop and Nguena Ndai up front there, Amanda. The fact that we don't have Mata in the midfield, does that change something for you?
It's a little bit concerning for me, knowing just the threat that the Moroccans have in terms of attack. Meta is just that one defensive midfielder who breaks down play, but I think the coach is signaling that he really wants maximum points, choosing to go with a very aggressive attacking 3 in Diallo, Diop and Ndiaye.
And that's, more than a handful for any defence, as we've seen before. 6 goals, of course, but there again, Shabak, she's already got 4. We've got Ibtassim Jaredi, who scored a goal as well, and Mrabet, one of the